Welcome back, y'all. Look, I was thinking, isn't it funny how like whenever you get older, roles sort of tend to reverse in a way. You know, it's like you live with your mom and dad your whole life, and you're just used to being the kid. Like it wasn't until the last few years that mentally I was like, oh, I'm up here with y'all. You know, I think when you hit your mid 30s, you're like, shit's on the same playing field. Like we're all in the same ballpark. I wake up, my joints hurt, my back hurts and shit. We got more to talk about at this point. So it's like we got more in common. The older we get, the more shit we have in common because you have that lapse when you're a teenager. You don't want nothing to do with your parents because you ain't got as much in common with them. My parents aren't that much older than me. There's only like a 20-year age gap, so it's not really that bad. There's 20 years between me and my dad, and there's 18 between me and mom. So we were about as close as we could get, but still, whenever you're a teenager, me and my dad and my mom, we're all close and stuff. But when you're a teenager, you don't want nothing to do with them. That's just the circle of life. But if you're fortunate enough, you do the right things, everybody comes back around, you make full circle, and y'all reconnect again. Like, it wasn't long ago, I was hanging out with my dad, mom, my uncle, and my aunt stuff, and we all went on Jeep rides. And it's just like, I sit there and think, I'm like, man, we're in their 30s, they're in their 50s, but the age barrier doesn't matter anymore. And so that's pretty cool. But with that also comes some other things. Like, you know how when you're a kid and your parents get into an argument, they don't want you to hear it. Like they'll I don't know. I would always go to my room and just shut the door and turn on some video games, put on some headphones, be like, yeah, they'll work it out. They'll be fine. We're gonna be fine. And obviously we were. They're still together. So, good for them, everybody.
Very well.
Absolutely. Um, but the thing is, though, it's funny. Like now that I've gotten a little bit older, and I work with my dad. We work together every day, which is I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. But there's side effects with everything. It's like those this drug will cause so and so and so and so. Well, this relationship will cause so and so and so. Look, my dad comes in, we have our coffee, and he's just telling me about how his afternoon went, and it may just happen to involve my mom. And you hear whatever little argument they had, you'll hear that his side of the story. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm just trying to have my coffee, but whatever, that's cool. That it definitely didn't make my coffee taste bad. I'm happy to listen. And then I'm like, I leave work. I almost forget about what me and him was talking about until I see my mom that afternoon, and then she starts telling me about the same argument I already heard once. Do y'all's parents do this shit, or is it just mine? First off, let me just put in the parentheses here: they love each other very much. If y'all don't argue, you're a damn liar. There's something wrong with you. They said if you don't argument is part of a healthy relationship. You some bitches going around smiling all the time, you ain't real. Anyways, so she'll start to tell me about her version of the conversation or argument or whatever, and halfway through I can just feel like, oh man, I start to feel like this square pegged Hank Hill. I just want to look at him and be like, hey, yeah, maybe you should talk to someone else on account of, you're sort of my mom and he's kind of my dad. Oh, that's exactly how I feel. I just like, fuck me. How did I get in this spot? It's funny. That's just what happens though. It took me a long time to go, why are they telling me this shit? I don't want to know. I got my own problems. I can't take on y'all's. I'm trying to run for mine. I got my own arguments and shit that nobody's listening about. But it's just what happens when you get on the same playing field as them, man. And it's just all a normal part of it. I just I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to buy two of them psychiatrist couches. I get to work, I'll let him have his coffee. He can tell me about her problems, and then I get home. She can tell me whatever's going on. She can lay on that, and at the end of the month, I'll just send them a fucking bill. You start sending people bills, I guarantee you'll start hearing from them less. But it's all good though. Like I said, it's just part of families. It's part of when you especially if you work with your family or they happen to live close. I know a lot of my friends. I often wonder how it works because I'm on the one side of the spectrum. Like all my family, which is a blessing, not complaining. I can be to them like that. You know, I got my uncle and my grandma. They're close. My mom and dad's up the road. My other uncle, he's not too far out of reach, which is good because we are very, we're tight and stuff. Um, and so we're always just a phone call away. And if I ever need anything, I know they're going to be there for me. And I'm sure that I'm going to hear something about this later, but it's the truth. And I know it's not just with our family or anything. It's everybody's. It's just I wasn't anticipating this. I said after I got done listening to that, I said, "Fuck, I'm getting old. I'm getting old." They vent to me now, and I'm like, man, I want to hear this shit, but at the same time, I wouldn't trade it for anything. That just means we're really close. God bless me with a good family. I'm not complaining. They're doing all the damn complaining. I ain't got a chance. Listen, thanks for stopping in. If you get the chance, man, don't miss out on this shit. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be dropping a whole lot more good stuff coming at you your way. You know, if you got anything, leave a comment down below. Give me that thumbs up. Don't thumbs down me. I don't want none of that negative shit. You can take that to somebody else's video. Thanks for stopping in. Till we see you again.